consciousness which is ego creating is not consciousness at all. That Krishna, Mahavir, Buddha, all call it murcha. That is, you are asleep, you are in murcha, you are in tantra. Then Buddha says, Patanjali says, okay, about that so-called consciousness, there is real consciousness, which is that observer, which observes everything, which is that drashta. And above that consciousness is the super-consciousness. Above that super-consciousness, there is collective super-consciousness. And then the fourth layer is cosmic consciousness, which we call samadhi, or which Mahavir calls keval gnan, or Buddha calls, that nirvana. Buddha then goes one step further, and he says, even that nirvana that you reach, that samadhi that you reach, is also not complete because you are still attached to the body. And when you remove the body, then you reach the Mahanirvana. So what Buddha says is that my interest is reaching these upper four layers. And Buddha says, what a tragedy. You have a 9-story palace and you live in the one little porch. That's the tragedy of human beings. These are the upper layers, and I believe, I cannot prove it, but I believe that in 50 years, 100 years, the psychology itself, which has reached the under layers, will reach the higher layers. So in one word, if you have to describe Buddha's way of finding this truth, Buddha's way of getting rid of this tension of the changing mind is from unconscious action, from tantra, from murcha. You wake up. The awareness, the increasing awareness is the only path. And increasing awareness, how do you create, is the technique of meditation, through which you create all your actions with full awareness. And that is a training which you can experiment on a very small scale. There is a beautiful story of Vivekananda. When Vivekananda decided to come to America for giving that lecture, he went and saw, Sharda, wife of Ramakrishna. And Sharda was cooking something in the kitchen. And Vivekananda enters the kitchen and Sharda says, give me that knife. And Vivekananda gives the knife to Sharda. And he turns around the knife so the blade remains on, his part, and the wooden handle is towards Sharda. And he hands over the knife that way. Sharda looks at it and says, Vivekananda, you are ready. You are aware. Now ordinarily we just give the knife the way we want to, but no. He was fully aware. So awareness that I am talking about is not as something, very big. In every action. In every action. Consider, are you doing it with your full awareness? We are not. We are doing everything robot-like. It's an automatic reaction. We eat, but are we aware? When we drink tea, are we aware that each sip we are taking, our consciousness is fully there? Everything is we are doing in Murcha. So his solution is very simple. His solution is very scientific, very simple. He said the only way to get rid of this mind is to step out, and stepping out the process is awareness. It's very simple. It defines anything that you do when you are unaware, anything that you do when you are asleep, anything that you do which is a reaction is bound to be wrong. And anything that you do out of your full awareness, you don't need. That is another great contribution of Buddha. 2600 years ago he said that I am not going to waste time in building your character. I am not going to give you commandments how to live. That's what all organized religions have been doing. Do this, do that, don't eat this. Buddha never spends a time on that. Not my concern. I'm not going to give you commandments, rules of morality. My business is consciousness. Do everything consciously. Do everything with full awareness. And then you will not be able to do anything wrong. If you are awake, you will not be able to do anything wrong. That's the greatest contribution of Buddha 2600 years ago. And he experimented. He experimented a few meditative techniques. And the technique he found is the simplest technique ever conceived. It is said, those who know, they say that his technique has enlightened, people have reached enlightenment by Buddha's technique. There's no other technique. And I have been telling this, tell it again. India may progress in science. Abdul Kalam Azad, may take to the Mars. India may have zenith reach in music. Vyas may have written the most beautiful poetry in the world in Mahabharata. No matter what area you take, India's greatest contribution in all of history would always be meditation. That nothing will come close to what India has given to the world as this way of reaching and way of finding the truth. And Buddha described, what is his search for? What was he after? And in one word he says, I am after freedom. I am not after God. I am not after heaven. All I am after is freedom. Freedom for what? And he defines it. Freedom from desires. Freedom from Krishna. Freedom from any limitations. Because otherwise you are very limited. Your lifespan is very limited. Today you are there and tomorrow you are not there. So, I want to find something which has no limits. Total freedom from wants, total freedom from death, total freedom from desires. Buddha says, I am interested in eternity. I do not want to have a limitation of time. Time has limits. And look at the beautiful word that we use for time. Kal. It is the same word for death. To live in time means to live in death. I want to find out where there is no death, no limitations, no restrictions, total freedom, total eternity, timelessness. That's my search. And I have found it. And then he says, this is extremely relevant, he says, you are all bodhisattvas. I am Buddha. And what is Buddha? He says, somebody says, what do you mean Bhagavan? What is that you found? He said, I am awake. That's all. I am the awakened one. I am fully conscious. I have reached the highest consciousness that is possible. And there is no difference, there is no qualitative difference, Buddha says, between what I am and you are. You are all bodhisattvas. Same quality. The only difference is that you are a seed and I have blossomed into the magnificent flower. And then, these people go on in describing what that experience is, and somebody says it is 1,000-petal lotus, and Kabir says, I saw the 1,000 suns light. All are trying to describe that which is undescribable. But that which is timeless, that which is eternal. Let me give you an example what they mean by full consciousness. You are sitting under a tree and a car is coming 1 mile away. So that car is still for you the future. It's not come. When it comes in front of you, it becomes present for you. And when the car goes away after 1 mile, it becomes a past for you. But for a guy who is sitting on the top of the tree, if his vision is 3 miles, the future and the past for you is present for him. So that is why Buddha also says that when you reach this full consciousness, the height of cosmic consciousness, you are at a height where there is no future and no past. Everything is present, everything is timeless, everything is eternity. And that's what I am after, according to Buddha. What is his technique? His technique is so beautiful, so simple. You cannot believe that that's the way to reach. His technique is Vipassana. His technique is Vipassana Jnana. The meditation technique of looking especially. Vipassana. And what does he want you to witness or watch? What it was to Pashya, Vishesh Pashyati, your breath. Your breath gives you life. And your breath is with you constant. Always there. All Buddha says is, bring your total awareness to your breath. Watch your incoming breath. Watch your outgoing breath. That is Buddha doesn't preach pranayama. Buddha doesn't want you to breathe long, slow, deep. Buddha says naturally. Breathe naturally. But bring your awareness totally to that incoming breath and outgoing breath. And the beauty is, if you can bring your total awareness, you will not be able to think. Thought and bringing awareness don't go together. But it's amazing that you will not be able to bring your awareness to your breath even for a second. Your mind will always think. Thinking goes on and on and on. Buddha has a beautiful example. He said, one guy came to Buddha and he said, all people are giving me mantras, chanting mantra, and I get to think, you are a Bhagavan, you give me mantra. And the Buddha said, okay, you want the mantra? Yes. He said, just say these three things. Buddham Sharanam Gacchami, Sangham Sharanam Gacchami, Dhammam Sharanam Gacchami. Say three things, but one condition. So that guy said, what? He said, when you chant these mantras, don't think of monkeys. So that guy said, what? Why should I be thinking monkeys? And the next day he said, boy, you made my life miserable. Whenever I chat with her, the only thing I can think of is monkey. So that's the trick. And Buddha says, if thoughts come, and thoughts will come, the trick is, don't try to repress it. Don't try to analyze that this was a good thought and a bad thought. There is never a good thought. You just don't give any energy to those thoughts. And thoughts are like clouds. They will vanish by themselves if you don't give any positive or negative energy to it. If they come, let them come. If you wonder why, don't be upset about it. Bring back your awareness to this incoming breath and outgoing breath. And that vipassana will do wonders to you, because that slowly and gradually will increase your awareness. You will become more and more conscious, slowly, bit by bit. And then he says that this dhyana, this state of no mind, this state of amani avastha, if you can reach for a second, that is a great, big jump, quantum leap. Because then you will reach the shunya, that thoughtlessness. And one shunya from another shunya, you cannot have a separating line there. All shunyas are one. So then you become one with the total reality. And that leads you to that total freedom that is talking about. So now we have 5 minutes left. And before we take question answers after the break, we have to do this meditation for 5 minutes. So let us be comfortable. There are no rules, no asanas required. Whatever way you feel comfortable, you'll be comfortable, close your eyes, and all you have to do is to bring your awareness. I will never use the word contemplation. I will never use the word concentration, because contemplation, concentration are all the mind. All the mind. We are talking about a state of no mind. So, close your eyes. Bring your total awareness and watch what the incoming breath and the outgoing breath. various ways in which different countries do this. Some people watch the belly. Those people who can breathe deeply, they can watch the belly. Those who breathe shallow can watch the breath. Then slowly and gradually, instead of bringing your awareness to the breath, you can bring it to a gap, a small gap between incoming breath and outgoing breath. Now, 2-3 things I want to tell you. Start, those who are not doing anything, no meditation, start with 5 minutes. The beauty of this meditation is that you can do it anytime. Office, working, not working, lying in the hospital bed. There is no necessity of anything else. That's the beauty of it. Breath is with you. You can do it and nobody can even notice that you are doing it. They may say you are asleep. You know, in the sick, in a chair you can do it. And the most important thing, you have so many stresses. Okay? You have to exercise. You have to go to work. You have to do this. You have to do that. Now, if you add one more thing to do, I have to do meditation. Then it defeats the purpose. Don't do it if you have to do it. Gorakhnath says, Hasiba kheli baat dari baat jana. If you don't enjoy, don't do it. If you don't do it for 1 or 2 days, don't be distressed because the whole purpose is defeated. You are stressed already. No more stress of doing meditation. No. But slowly and gradually, if you enjoy doing it, just as you enjoy playing poker, okay? You can do without, playing bridge. If that becomes slowly and gradually your way of life, it comes naturally to you. Then do it and increase it from 5 minutes to 10 minutes to 15 minutes to an hour. But don't stop there. Because the whole thing is how to be conscious, to do in small things. When you walk, make sure that this step you take is of you are aware. Buddha used to walk very slowly. And Anand says, why are you? He said, every step I have to be fully aware that I am taking the step. It should not be automatic. There is a small story about Buddha. He was walking and a fly comes. And the Buddha removes the fly. And then after 5 minutes again, he does it again, there is no fly. And Anand said, what are you doing? You already, took care of it. He said, no, at that time I was not aware. My hand, took it automatically. I was totally unaware. I want to do it everything with my full awareness. So ultimately they say that dhyana is like breathing. You can't say I have to breathe 1 hour every day. You will die. So what happens to these meditators like Kabir, like Zen gurus? They don't stop doing what they were doing. Kabir remains a worker. And some Zen gurus who are chopping wood, they chop wood. After enlightenment, they to change their profession. But a great difference occurs in their work because they are fully aware. Om Kabir says, Surati, that remembrance you are, that witnessing consciousness, that Shakshi, that observing consciousness, never leaves them 1 second. They are always in meditation. That's the trick. But in order to reach that, you have to try slowly in every action, in everything that you do. even this, slowly and gradually, you will realize that you are that witnessing consciousness. And that witnessing consciousness has eternity. It has no death. It has total freedom. And then the life these people live is pure ecstasy. They call it bliss. They call it Anand, whatever they want to call it. But nothing perturbs them. Nothing perturbs them. And then Buddha says you can, in this changing world and the changing mind, you can develop upeksha. You remain indifferent. So when these people reach that enlightenment state, not that all their questions are answered philosophically. They don't have any questions. They don't have answers, but all questions are gone. That's the beauty of it. Okay. Now, Annam Brahmam. Oh yeah, sure.
જો આની વાત કરો છો ને બધા આપણે થોડે પછી કોઈ જતા પણ છૂટા મળીએ બધા પછી આ 4 દિવસે કર્યું છે એનો આભાર માનવો એ શબ્દ ખોટો છે.
Express, whatever people think, and I have very, openly admitted to you that I have not experienced it. But I believe very strongly now that it is worth trying. That's all I can say. Worth experimenting, and all I am repeating again that is very important. That forget about this organized religion. They are dividing people. Forget about all rituals, forget about niti, forget about all this imposition of rules. This is the real service. This is the real spirituality. And try it. Try it. These all people, never they say follow us. Never say believe in us. Never. Is also very fascinating to me. Everybody else talks about Shraddha and faith. And the emphasis is how can you remove doubt? You have a doubting mind, you question everything. And the experience is that doubt is opposite to belief. And in the world of duality, you cannot have one and the other. You have to have both. Where there is a belief, there is a doubt. You cannot avoid it. So Buddha has approached this whole phenomenon of avoiding doubt rather very cleverly. He said, I am not going to remove doubt. I am not asking you to drop your doubt. You will never be able to do that. But I want to destroy all your beliefs. If you have no belief of any kind, or if you don't depend upon any belief of any kind, there is no need for doubting. So his way of approaching doubt is unique. He says, I am not going to ask you to don't be doubtful or don't doubt, don't question. He said, I want to destroy all your belief. There is no need for belief. Begin with. And there is a beautiful example, Ananda and Buddha sitting and one disciple comes. He said, Bhagavan, I have a question. He said, what? He said, I am an atheist. I don't believe in God. can you tell me whether there is God or not? Because I believe there is no God. So Buddha says, everything there is God. Why are you asking me questions? I am telling you that everything there is God. So, that guy goes, and then in the evening another disciple comes and asks Buddha a question. I am a believer, I am a firm believer that there is God. And the Buddha says, nonsense, there is no God. Absolutely there is no God. So Ananda is poor fellow perplexed. He said, in the morning you are telling that guy that everything is God. And in the evening this guy comes and you say there is no, there is no God. What are you doing? I didn't understand it. You will never understand. What he is doing is relying upon my experience, and he doesn't want to try anything. He has a belief. One guy has a belief that there is God, and I am telling him there is no God, because I don't want him to rely upon his belief or my belief. The second guy comes and says, there is a God, and I say, no. What I want is no belief. Don't believe anything. There is no need to believe anything.